Newest episode, episode 7, we're gonna be in so much trouble of the Skeleton Crew from the Star Wars realm. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanka, an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we have a tour tomorrow with a soundstage that just opened up. We're going to be doing a talk show. Plus, I have another deal in the works with some major actors. I'm not going to talk about it because A, I probably have to sign an NDA, and second of all, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed it even goes through. But yeah, we're counting down to the end of the Skeleton Crew. It is, I did see the numbers on the viewership of the Skeleton Crew, and ooh-wee, I hope these guys are going to finish this up because the chance of them getting a season 2 is pretty slim. They have less viewers than the Acolyte, and the Acolyte numbers were so in the trash that they did not greenlight that for a second season. Plus, nobody liked it. On top of that, the reviews from the general streaming audience was pretty poor. Where this one, and I couldn't get through Andor. I know a lot of people really like Andor. I couldn't get through it. But I think this is a fun series. I think it has some pretty good characters in it. And now, this is kind of where I thought this was going to go. And it finally has. So we've progressed where I thought maybe there's going to be a whole Lost in Space thing, and thankfully it wasn't. We were able to move the story along, and this was directed by Lee Isaac Chung, and if you don't know who that is, he directed Twisters. So he's not a bad director, so he directed an episode of The Mandalorian as well. So yeah, he's starting to make a name for himself as a pretty decent director. So I had no problem with this episode for the most part. I think it moved along pretty well, and just when the kids were like, "Yay, we're home!" and they realize it's an ATTAN ship, and they're probably going to be able to get through the barrier. They were surprised about what the barrier looked like on the outside of the planet, and the pirates were like. Well, first of all, Jude talked them into going and not putting him through the airlock. And then when they got there, they had volunteers attempt to go to the planet, and they all got destroyed. So there is some kind of an actual security system around the planet that's not only causing the storm, which was the prophecy or whatever it was, whatever the original captain had said that is through the storm. That's what he was referring to. So yeah, I liked a lot of this. I liked the ideas of having pylons in there, creating this kind of ring around the planet that would destroy everything except for an ATTAN ship, which they're in, which would make sense because they found it on the planet to begin with. So, and they took off with no problem. So it would make sense that they would be able to take off with it. And again, we're dealing with the parents here. The parents are attempting to get some kind of a communication device or a beacon through the atmosphere, so that they can try to communicate, or at least give them a beacon to where to go to land, which was obviously against the rules. And Stephen Fry is playing the voice of the supervisor. So we're about to see a lot more of the lore of this planet kind of get unveiled. But once they land in an ATTAN ship, they find that they have a stowaway, and that stowaway is Jude. And this is before they land. And SM-33 starts to get involved in the whole thing, and we finally get to see some lightsaber action, and SM-33's head is on the ground. So the kids really can't do anything, but at least Brutus is dead. I did like that whole scene where they attacked the Brutus with the arm, and Jude said, so Brutus, and he just goes out. He takes it off camera, but he shoots him. And he says, he's nothing but like a mutinous scumbag or whatever, and mutinous scoundrel, and you guys followed him. Are you, is this the kind of person you're going to follow? And they all kind of go, well, yeah. And they're like, he's like, good, because I'm one of those too. He doesn't actually say that, which I would have liked to have say that, but he just infers it. So the parents do get the beacon into space. So the parents do get the beacon into space and give them, the ship gets taken over as far as a tractor beam or however it does, all the way till the fact that they land. And then Jude lies to the droids and tells them that, he's from the Republic or whatever, because he's in the ship. And of course they're a droid, so they believe him because of the fact that he was in a ship that matched what they were doing. Although you would think that they would have some kind of identification that he doesn't have, but we'll let that go. So he finds the vault that has all of the Republic chips in them. They were like 3,000 or whatever it was, and 1,300. I forgot what the number was that the droid told him. And he's like, oh my God, I am in heaven. But meanwhile, I don't know why he needs their ship. Unless he just wants the power of having a bunch of pirates that he controls. Because he has a ship. He has the money. Why does he need the pirates? I don't understand. He can fit enough in that ATTAN ship to live very comfortably for the rest of his life. I guess if that happens, then they have no rest of the show. I don't know. But before we finish up with this review, just remember too that we have Green Hornet, the anthology with Moonstone Books. This is not what it is. It's going to be a hardcover, but this is one of the ones they've done in the past. It is going to be done by a bunch of sci-fi and well-known writers, including Timothy Zahn, who created Thrawn for Star Wars. He's one of the lead writers. We have Kevin J. Anderson, who writes for Dune, and also I think he did some Star Wars stuff as well. And we have Bill Willingham. We got a cover by Batman and Grendel artist Matt Wagner. It's going to be amazing. Just in the past 2 days, we went from 130 followers up to like almost 210. So it's going to be really amazing. I think we're going to have huge successes with it. So if you'd like to get involved, just go to greenhornetnoir.com and just click on Get Notified, because we're going to launch at the end of the month. We're going to do a live stream. I'm going to see what writers that we can have on the live stream. It's going to be great. But anyway, there's also a link in the description below as well. All right, so let's finish up with the Skeleton Crew. And yeah, again, I love all the cast. I know that some people had a problem with KB, having two moms, but I'm like, Disney gonna do what Disney gonna do. I'm not gonna get upset about it. Whatever, it is what it is. But I love the alien elephant parents and all that stuff. But it's great that it was cool that they always kind of passed the baton, because they were getting zapped and then they were getting zapped until the fact that I think it was Fern's mom that ended up picking up the last one and actually launching the beacon up. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here, because they only have one episode left, and with the fact that the viewership is so low, we may not even see a second season of this unless they figure out maybe how to lower the budget. I really don't know what the budget was for this. It may be less than any of the others, and for all we know, the lack of viewership didn't really matter to it because it had a lower budget than the others. I don't know. Like, I know the Acolyte was way expensive, but there's, no cast here for the most part. Jude Law's your only cast for the most part. Stephen Fry doing just the voice, and Nick Frost just doing voice. They're not the very expensive. Jude Law is the only one carrying the entire show as far as cast is concerned. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we do get a second season. But with the low numbers that I'm hearing about, like 6 million people, I don't know. It's basically because all Star Wars fans have been turned off. They're done. The Acolyte and everything else just didn't all of what they did with Marvel, and basically with everything that Disney Plus has done has just been complete crap for the most part. And they're like, I'm done. I'm not even going to try anything else. And this one was made more for kids, and so they're not interested. And I can't say I blame them, but I am enjoying the show, and then I would be sad if it didn't continue, but especially if it doesn't end. If it ends, then great, but I can't see them ending it in a half hour or whatever the amount of time is, 30, 40 minutes or whatever, however long they're going to give to the last episode. But it would be sad that I'm not going to know what happens if they just cancel the show outright. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Do you think they're going to cancel it? Think they're going to continue it? Let me know. All right. I give this entire season so far 8.5 out of 10. I really like it. I really like the look and feel of it. I like the progression of the characters. I like the progression of the story for the most part. There was only one episode that kind of was a filler episode, but for the most part, everything kind of moved ahead. It wasn't completely stagnant, which I appreciate, and it didn't turn into a Lost in Space ripoff. So, yeah, I like it. Thumbs up for me. All right, now give a thumbs up to me. Give me that thumbs up, and if you can, subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell, ding, ding. Hey, it's free. Why not? Find out what all my next reviews are. I do movies. I did movies and comic book reviews and things to that effect. And I appreciate you as all watching. Happy New Year to everybody. And anybody who's in California, I feel personally blessed that I moved when I did. And I'm not involved. And I do have some friends that lost houses and stuff like that there. My prayers go out to all of you. There was nothing you guys did that made that happen. It's a freak thing of nature. And it happens every year. And unfortunately, there was no preparation for as bad as this got. So my heart goes out to everyone. I can't imagine losing everything. So there's that. So Happy New Year to everyone else. And I hope everybody that's in California gets to pick up their pieces generally quickly and gets back to regular life, although I don't see that happening for at least a few months. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.